Hi, guys, and welcome back to a new podcast. It's your host, Elizabeth Jankovic. And I was thinking about what I wanted to record because, as I said, I want to do more than one podcast a month. In the past, I was doing once a month. And now that I graduated college, I really just want to do maybe like twice a month, bi-weekly, more content than I was doing before. And I was like, what do I talk about this week? Like, I have ideas written down, but what do I talk about? And before I really sat down and came out with a good idea or, looked at my notes, I actually listened back to one of my very first podcasts, actually my first podcast, which was how to be your own best friend and how to be happy on your own. And I was like, you know what? I feel like this is a time in my life where I need this. And so I went on my YouTube channel. I played it at 2x speed because I listened to podcasts at 2x speed because it was a 45-minute podcast. And it was not good quality. I said some really great stuff. I did. And I was just like, I want to re-record that. I want to re-record that podcast for my next podcast. And actually, let me know if you guys can tell that there's a difference in the way I'm recording. I'm using the Blue Yeti. Cheers, applause, the crowd is roaring. I finally got a microphone. I've been talking about this for a long time and I just did it and I set it up right now. God bless the fact that I had to learn how to use a microphone for my radio class last semester, that I just had that class and I know how it works now. Boom. Like when that took like 2 hours for me to set up, I was able to do this in like 2 minutes. This just came in the mail and I just set it up. Super simple, sleek, beautiful, amazing. So I hope the quality is better. But yeah, this podcast is just going to be about how to be your own best friend / how to be happy on your own. So I'm just going to be redoing that podcast, like I guess a year and a few months later, because that was October 2019. So it's like 14, 15 months later. I'm just redoing it with my Blue Yeti. And yeah, and I'm also just going to make it more coherent. I feel like I wasn't as confident. It was my first podcast. I didn't know what I was saying. It wasn't the best. So what I had said in that one was how the first 3 semesters of college, I was in a relationship at the time and I didn't really prioritize meeting friends. I was just like happy doing my own thing with my significant other at the time. And because I wasn't socializing, I didn't meet a lot of people that were good friends. I had like friends, like acquaintances, people I was really friendly with and I would consider friends, but I didn't have close friends. So once I reached my 4th semester, which was 2nd semester sophomore year, I felt completely alone. I felt like I had no best friends, no close friends, just friends that clearly had other close friends. And yeah, I felt alone for the first time ever at college and I was really sad. I was alone. I was just by myself and I had to channel a lot of that energy into myself. And that's kind of what that first podcast I recorded was about. It was about doing things for you. When you have nobody else, this is what you have to do. So I poured my heart into my classes. Like I got almost straight A pluses that semester and I just worked to be a really great student because if I had all this extra time on a Friday night, Saturday night, and people in college usually have fun and go out, pre-COVID-19, I didn't have that because I didn't have friends like that. I was, obviously under 21. I wasn't doing that. So I was like, I guess I'll just study harder and read more. And, I ended up doing so well that semester. So that was really satisfying, although it was boring. I also worked on the weekend. This was when I worked at Playa Bowls. So I worked at my smoothie bowl shop and I worked there on the weekend for like 12 hours and I had my coworker friends and that was like an escape for me. And I also worked on my career, like YouTube and acting and film shoots and all that stuff. So it was the first semester where I made like 2 videos a week. And I also finally started applying to like acting things. And I was an extra way more than I ever was before. And I kind of put myself in the mindset of I have to be my own best friend because nobody else is right now. Nobody else is my best friend. No one's going to come save me and knock on my door. So when you're all alone, all you have is yourself. So that's when I just really poured my extra time into YouTube, into acting. I needed to find out who I was and also who were real friends and fake friends. And that time really like showed it to me when I kind of put my all into other people and like was searching for other people during that time. I was like, oh, well, I'm not really getting that reciprocation back. So I found out who wasn't like my real friends, I guess. And at the end of the day, who do you have? You have spirituality and yourself. And spirituality can encompass so many different things, law of attraction, manifestation, the universe, religion, the divine. And that's if you are a spiritual person. There are some people who don't believe in any of that, but if you do, then you have that. And you also, some people have family and some people don't. So I'm not going to discredit family, but some people have a very interesting family situation. So you can't really I can't just say everybody has family, but you do have yourself. And if you believe in spirituality, you have that. You have your source, I also put a lot of time into my vegan Tumblr, which I actually just hit 50,000 followers on my vegan Tumblr. If you go to my link tree, which is linktr.ee/Elizabeth Jankovic, it's linked in my podcast, it's linked in my videos, it's linked in my Instagram, which is at elizabeth.j. So yeah, my link tree, you scroll, you click on vegan blog, and that's my vegan Tumblr, which is veg-inspo.tumblr.com. I've had it for about as long as I've been vegan, which now is about 4.5 years, and I just hit 50,000. I've been really trying to put, I think in the last year, I would say I put way more of my own content and photos of food on there, because in this last year I was trying more vegan food, or I guess a year and a half. I was trying more vegan food than I ever had before. So I think what I want to do with that is actually make an Instagram now where, more people can find me on Instagram. More people use Instagram. So that's kind of the vibe. I want to try to put all of my own original content that I have a little tab for on my vegan Tumblr. I want to just put all of those on an Instagram. So that's kind of what I want to do to celebrate 50,000. But yeah, I put my time into that, into YouTube, as I said. And, all the extra time, self-care, hobbies, passions, dreams. If you ever find yourself in a place where you feel like you have no one, you have no friends, you have no support, what you have to do is just look inward, look at projects you've always wanted to do, things you've always wanted to do. Self-care was so big for me because when you take care of yourself, it's like a best friend you do face masks with, you do cute little girl nights, we all have that. You can do that with yourself. How some people are oh, I'm going to watch a movie, I'm going to put on cute pajamas, I'm going to do a face mask and drink some wine. How many times have I seen that, on Instagram? That's literally what you have to do. I feel like that's what self-care is. It's being completely content and doing these little things for yourself, by yourself, and thoroughly enjoying it, obviously the act of doing it is self-care, but you're happy with yourself and you love yourself when you can do that by yourself and be happy doing it. I love my alone time. Okay, also, guys, with the new microphone, you can hear everything. That's me moving my foot on the carpet and you can hear it. So we'll see how sensitive this microphone is, which is yes, of course it's supposed to be sensitive, but I have to get used to it. So apologies in advance. But yeah, obviously I was alone and sad, but that was so I could grow. That provided room for me to grow. That provided my knowledge of okay, well, clearly I don't have anybody else. If I'm alone and I'm sad that I'm alone, how can I fix it? And just be there for yourself, literally being there for yourself, finding out about yourself, who you are, what you want in life, and what's important. Oh, I'm getting a phone call now, so I have to continue this later. Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry, I had to take that phone call. But as I was saying, finding about who you are, yourself, what you want in life, who's important, what's important. I feel like being alone gives people a lot of time for self-reflection and things my sister and I have talked about, and I've probably talked about this in a podcast before, is when you're alone when you're alone, you just find out so much more. You have these self-reflections and realizations, and you're able to create your own ideas and beliefs and philosophies and outlooks and mindsets. And a lot of people are always filling their schedule, their week with plans. Even people who have a Monday through Friday full-time jobs, at night, they get dinner, they, catch up with a friend, and on the weekend they go shopping, and they're always planning all of these things. And it's are they ever alone? It's very concerning, I feel like. And I feel like when you're never alone with yourself, do you ever really know about yourself and what you, again, want in life and your goals and aspirations? And another thing I had said in that podcast was you really do have to be there for you. And, when you would think about, I have so many friends now, and this is a year later is when I met these friends. Oh, no, wait, what? When did I? Oh no. Okay. So my whole like time where I was experiencing this like self-growth and self-improvement was about spring 2019. And at the end of spring 2019 and throughout the rest of the year is when I met those people that were there for me, and they are my best friends. And right now, like winter 2021, like I can say that I have people who are there for me. And they text me that they love me, and they're always there for me if I need a phone call, if I need help or advice. So when you are in that period in your life where you're not yet with those people, you haven't found those people yet, you're still waiting on that, you have to be there for yourself and create, you have to, obviously it's hard. It's harder than it sounds, and it's easier said than done. But trying to have a positive mindset and being happy towards school, toward work, like being okay with being your own company. I used to be like, oh wow, like I have no friends in any of my classes, but then thinking about how I could just like be in my own world and like really be like, what can I get from this class? And, stuff like that. And being okay with being your own company. Like if you don't have a company from an external source, like find that company in your internal source and, being that place for you, that safe place for yourself. And as far as self-care, like getting a good night of sleep, at least 7 hours, but like honestly, like 8 every night, ideally, because that's what they recommend. Like hygiene, skincare, because when you physically feel good, you emotionally feel good. At least in my opinion. Like I always was taking good care of my hair, like showering. Like if you don't shower every day and if you neglect like your literal self-hygiene like that, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it shows that you're neglecting your emotional and mental self too. So, showering, moisturizing for me, like skincare, eating healthy. I'm vegan. Like I really take care into what I eat. As I said, getting enough sleep. And, if you want to try something new, like cooking, right? Like you can experiment that. I feel like cooking is something that's really easy when you have a lot of extra time on your hands. It's something that's really perfect to just like fill your time with because it's a good skill to learn. It's fun, experimenting with new foods, grocery shopping, saving money, usually healthier, working out. Like if you're scared, to work out alone, like really just being like, all right, how about like I do this and I see how it feels and I make myself proud. Like sometimes hard things, once you do them, you're so proud of yourself after doing them. And listen to podcasts. I feel like a lot of being alone is like getting stuck in your own head and your own thoughts and cycles. Watch a movie, watch a documentary, read a book, and listen to self-help podcasts, and just explore Anchor or podcasts on Apple Podcasts, and Spotify has a whole like list now and all that stuff. And for me with work, that was really hard to like have a positive mindset toward. Like school and work are hard things to have a positive mindset for. If you don't have like a ton of friends at school or coworkers or whatever, you know, just kind of feel a little shitty. And if you need to get yourself in a good mindset, like try to dress cute. Maybe you want to put on makeup, do a cute little outfit, cute hair, put perfume on, have a positive attitude, especially like if you're in the customer service industry. Obviously with the energy you put out will get back to you, will come back to you. And I feel like we know this in manifestation and like personal, whatever, law of attraction, like that type of stuff. People who study that, what you put out, the energy you put out comes back to you. Customer service, like if you're a nicer cashier or just customer store associate, whatever, you will attract that energy back to you. And I feel like that's like a really great attitude to have in school or work or in situations where we're not our happiest. Maybe we don't want to be there. Maybe it's not 100% voluntary that we're there. We just kind of have to do it. But, trying your best to put your best self up there. I'm so sorry. I just moved my computer and the whole thing like cracked like weird. Meditation, breathing, deep breathing, so important. In yoga, even like the deeper you breathe and the more aware you are of your breath, the more beneficial the practice is. And that's something I feel like I always was like not putting a lot of effort into it, but just the more you breathe and feel like you can actually control your whole body with your breath. And meditation focuses on breath as well. So those are just really, really important tools, really useful tools. Like I would say if you've never tried yoga, there's so many beginner yoga classes, and obviously now I've been doing it for so long that I don't have to look at the screen. If she says a certain pose, most of the time I know what she's talking about, and I just really have her there to listen and let her like guide me in a flow. I listen to yoga with Cassandra, and she's pretty much my go-to. I used to listen to yoga with Adrienne. I don't know why I stopped. I feel like I just really liked yoga with Cassandra's, I don't know, her vibe more. Maybe, I don't know. She definitely did affirmations more. She's a little more spiritual. I I would have to get back into yoga with Adrienne to see if she started implementing that. Like maybe she did and I just didn't know. I feel like also yoga with Adrienne has way more workout classes. So that's something that I honestly should start doing. If I ever feel less motivated to work out, I should look at like a yoga with Adrienne, like a workout kind of vibe. Because if you do a flow, like a vinyasa flow or like a power yoga, then you're definitely getting like your cardio up. And there's also strength a lot of times involved with your core and legs in yoga. So yeah, trying out meditation. I might start a meditation podcast, not podcast, channel. I might start a meditation channel, TBH, and let me know if you guys are interested. I now have this microphone, so I feel like I could do really cool and clear meditation. That's like me doing like an ASMR vibe. My sister and I might start an ASMR channel, guys. All right, and now I have this microphone, so that's perfect. I think we do just have to like get a camera, which is an investment, so TBD about that. But in conclusion, I would say when you're alone, how to be happy on your own, self-reflect, think, and realize you have all this extra time, which is a beautiful thing to put back into yourself. Self-care, hobbies, passions. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to get into sports. Maybe you join a club at your school or institution. Maybe you want to start a channel, a blog, writing, which can be anything. Writing is so broad, and I think that's what's so beautiful about writing. Like, yeah, I'm a writer in the sense of like journalism, but I write poetry too. And I don't know, even just journaling. Journaling is writing, like literally any way. Blogging, as I said, traveling. This podcast was written before COVID-19, so obviously traveling was still much more feasible and doable. But yeah, starting passions, affirmations, self-help books, reading self-help, self-improvement books. I have a playlist on my channel of all of these books I read during that time, spring 2019, and I am going to get back into reading books because those literally changed my life. Go on my channel, go on my playlist and book reviews and go through them. I look like trash. I feel like I was talking so quiet. I wasn't as confident when I recorded videos. I didn't know what I was doing. So don't judge my personality in those videos and how much of a baby I sound. And also I just look ugly. I've since done many glow ups and I look better than I do in those videos. But the information is still valid and I would recommend that. Yeah. So as I said, affirmations. Oh, like once you read those books, you'll find affirmations, but I'm sure you can go on Pinterest and find affirmations. Yoga with Cassandra has some videos with affirmations, so that's really cool. Yeah. Doing things for you. This is something I said in that podcast, which really resonated with me, and it's like myself, like go Elizabeth from like a year or so ago. I said, you got to do things for you. You have to love doing it and you have to want to do it. So it's one thing to just be going through the motions of self-care, but it's like if you love doing it and if you want to do it, like obviously in the beginning you might have to, as Stella Ray says, the force yourself method, you might have to do that, but you'll eventually get into a rhythm where you want to do it and you like doing it and you enjoy doing it, because who doesn't love self-care? I don't know. I've never heard somebody who doesn't like self-care. I don't know. I incorporate it into my daily and weekly routine, so at this point it's just something I do all the time. And I wasn't happy before, like in my life, like in those first 3 semesters, I wasn't happy because I wasn't focusing on myself. But when I focused on who I was and finding out who I was and what I liked and my own personality and literally being my own best friend, I was able to find out that I can help myself, and all of the opportunities would fall in place after you have that solid foundation with yourself. Like all the close people that I love and love me fell into my life like only a few months after that reawakening. And that year I booked so many acting things and my channel grew a lot that summer. That was the first time I grew significantly on YouTube. And it just all felt so like aligned. Everything felt in alignment. And you just always realize that when you put your energy into that positivity and all these little things that are literally proven to raise your vibration, right? Meditation, yoga, working out, reading, really just like taking care of yourself, your skin, your body, health, sleeping, all that, you attract those like better things. The higher your vibration, the better you are and the more you attract, and it's just an abundant life you'll have. And at the end of the day, you always have yourself, so don't let yourself down. Like, I've been feeling loneliness a lot recently, and I think that's a big reason why I wanted to re-listen to that podcast, to my own podcast, because I was like, what advice do I have for myself? Because I feel quite lonely right now, in the sense of like, not lonely like I don't have people around me, because obviously I have my sister, like I have my family, I'm back at home in Westchester, but I have my friends I can call whenever I need, but like literally the feeling of like, is anyone else going through what I'm going through? Like, I felt so like hopeless and alone, and I'm still getting through that. Like, I obviously sound very happy and positive right now, but it's also like we go through such like moods almost, and like bursts of energy and motivation, and the like downs and ups and downs. And like right now in this moment I'm on an up, but like I still have a lot of underlying anxiety and everything. And I just like, obviously I want to be transparent with you guys. Like, I usually film podcasts record podcasts when I'm feeling really inspired and happy, or I just like realized something recently and I'm feeling more confident and stuff, and that's how I'm feeling right now. So obviously like it'll sound like I have my shit together way more than I might actually do in real life, right? Which I'm sure you know if you listen to any YouTubers or stuff like that. You know, social media, you put out what you want people to see, and usually it's the highlights and it's the positive things, although I think social media is changing more and people are becoming more real and transparent with themselves and their feelings and their thoughts and how they look and all that stuff. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just wanted to make this so I could listen back and realize how much I've grown after that first podcast, and redo it for my new followers and subscribers and everyone, and also test out this new microphone, baby, because I knew the audio quality was trash on that first one. And I hope you guys take some advice, some inspiration, some positivity, some hope from this. And oh my god, I just like choked. And yeah, I hope you can start living like a great life, because we all deserve it. We really do. We really do. And we have to believe that. So thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Virgo Vibes Podcast. Don't know when it's coming out just yet, but it's January 12th when I'm recording it, so hopefully soon, hopefully before the end of January, so then my two times a month will start, kicking off soon, and I'm really gonna attract and manifest that vibe. And make sure you're subscribed. Let me know what you listen to this on. I think most of my people listen to it on Spotify, so that's lit as frick. And yeah, I do upload these on YouTube as well, so you can listen to it 2 times speed if you want, because that's what I do. And yeah, go to my channel, subscribe, check out my playlist, check out all that stuff, my link tree, etc. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will see or talk to you guys in my next podcast or video.